Little reminder for the gays. You can't hate yourself. That's homophobic.
There's one thing we don't like on this channel. It's the homophobes. So stop it. Same goes that if you're trans. Hating yourself would be transphobic. And there's nothing worse than a transphobe. So don't do it. Simple. Simple as that. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for some QueerTok talk. We love the QueerTok talk. We need to do the QueerTok talk again. So that's what we're here for today. But you know the deal. Before we continue with the TikToks, y'all gotta get hydrated. Grab some water or some tea or whatever else you like to drink. And then we'll look at some more TikToks. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go.
You dare disobey me, Coraline! Ah! Ah!
You wanna what? You wanna what? Is this a classic case of not being able to admit that you're gay because then you'd have to admit that you're kind of miserable in your marriage and that's why you don't want your daughter to be happy either? Because it's a shit move. It seems kind of common, but as a parent, don't you want your children to live a life that suits them and not be as miserable as you? Wouldn't you want that?
I don't know. It just seems so silly to me. I mean, everybody feels this way.
What the poor naive dingbat did not realize was that most people, in fact, did not feel that way.
Y'all. But I feel like every trans person ever kind of had thoughts like these. Of thinking that maybe just everyone feels that way. And in a way, some cis people, they don't wake up wishing they could just wake up as like a boy one day and just never go back. I think for cis people, it's more of a curiosity of what would it be like, because a lot of people are just kind of curious, because those thoughts do come up, I think, with cis people as well. But if it's just a, I wonder what it would be like, but okay, and moving on with their day versus, oh my god, no, that would be so much better, I wish I was born a boy. I think it's giving trans, you know, if it crosses that line.
Nuke Radio. We make your eardrums bleed.
I just shoved a nuke up my pussy.
I can't say passing is overrated. Because to me, I don't care what gender I pass as anymore. And honestly, whether or not you pass should not matter. But I know that in the world we live in, with the amount of transphobes we live in, it in fact very much does. And I can understand that even if it didn't matter for safety or for people to take you serious, I can understand you still having dysphoria about it if you don't. But, well, I'm glad we at least get to laugh about it on TikTok together, because it do be like this for a lot of trans guys. Like, especially height. But then again, there are like a lot of cis men that aren't that tall, that people don't really think about it. You know? They just don't think about it. Voice is still a tricky one though. Like, especially over the phone, people are just gonna think you're a woman. Oh well.
What are they called again?
Annulax batteries.
Arbulary batteries.
That's nothing like what I just said.
I have a question. Why do you bother asking? Only to be disrespectful about it. Because I know it seems like I'm getting mad at like a hypothetical situation here, but you can just imagining this happen. Like, you can imagine that this happens, because they're like, I want to ask because I know I should, but then turn around and be like, no, but I don't see you as the thing you said. I see you differently, so I'm just gonna, I don't know how much on purpose, gonna use the wrong pronouns for you the entire time. Then why do you bother asking? I mean, step in the right direction, I guess, but if you're just gonna disrespect what the person said, it's kind of hard to give you points for trying to be respectful if you then fail so miserably at it. You know, that's just no. Just no. No. If someone tells you that pronouns, why wouldn't you use those pronouns? Did I just include this one because it's incredibly adorable? Yes. Because I think a lot of trans people, when it comes to dating, get worried. I mean, A, when they come out during a relationship, they're obviously worried the other person's gonna break up with them. Maybe because, like, if they're a trans woman and they're dating a woman, they don't know if their partner's, like, into women as well that way. Same goes for, like, trans men. So I think a lot of people worry if they're gonna break up. When I started transitioning, I was literally dating a man, and I told him that if he wanted to break up, we could, because I knew he's straight. Struggle low-key transphobic dude though, because I don't think he ever saw me as a man, so that's not really why we broke up in the end, but still. But these two are just so cute. I can just imagine the conversation, like one of them worked up the nerves to come out to their partner and be like, hey babe, I gotta tell you something. I'm trans. Like I don't identify as a woman, I identify as a man. Like I want to transition. Full on just probably crying, and the other person's just like, dude, lol, same. How much crying was there involved? Because I kind of figure a lot, but in the end, I think it was kind of funny. Please tell me they did an update on this at some point. I'll have to find out. Yeah, sometimes 2 or 3 years is enough to give your past self like an absolute shock. Because they wouldn't know just how much something is going to change your life. And I love these kind of videos because it's just funny to me. It's funny because how much would the you from 2 or 3 years ago just generally be shocked at how far you've come? Because in the moment, it always seems like super hard. And like there's just like so many struggles, but then you look back, like even 2 or 3 years, and you can still see just how different your life is. And I think that's always kind of a good way to put it into perspective. And if you make it funny, you can make a TikTok out of it, I guess. There you go. Says the person who like never posts on TikTok. Oh well. Show me your tape. What did I miss? I feel like I missed something. What is like trans tape of like instead of a binder, like taping your what? Is that what he's talking about? Well, anyways. People say some wild shit. Like they do ask like which trans you are or which direction you're trans in. which is just always funny. I get why you're asking it, but it's still kind of funny. Some questions like that, funny. Some questions just downright disrespectful and just trying to be transphobic, like the genes ones. Like, let me tell you something. Unless you got your genes tested, you can't know. Y'all just out here assuming that your chromosomes are actually XX or XY. But you might be wrong, and you never know. Like, I don't know what my chromosomes are. I don't care what my chromosomes are, because why would I? Literally, why would I? You know? But just don't be rude and ask trans people with questions. I mean, again, it does make for funny TikToks. Otherwise, we'd have to get like more creative, right? And like make up our own fun TikToks. But I think we would very much prefer that, actually. Yeah.
Queer things I didn't know were queer until I realized I was queer, part 18. The gay girl urge to hold your backpack like this. If you know, you know.
I'm not a queer girl, but I did this constantly. I did this so often. Like, if I had to stand with my backpack on because we were like about to leave or something, I take it off first chance I get. But like, if we're just like standing there and just like waiting for people to get ready so we can like all go on the bus to go somewhere in school or something, I would stand like that. I think I know, but I'm still not a girl. Oh well, I guess it's just one of those things that's kind of overlapping to other parts of the community, like not being able to sit straight. Like I'm not gonna be sitting here like this. I'm so gonna be hunched over the entire time, y'all. But listen, is it just because I grew up a girl and that's why I did this? Okay, listen. The sleeves on the shirt were already rolled up when I took it out of my closet and decided to put it on, because I cannot stand long sleeve, which is more of a sensory issues thing, and just due to the fact that I'm constantly too warm. But I feel like even if I didn't have those things, I'd probably still roll them up just to be gay. Like, sometimes I just roll them up on t-shirts because the t-shirt length is bothering me. So again, probably still mostly a sensory thing, but it also just looks so much better. Come on. It's not my fault that it looks better, okay? Listen. And it's also funny because the straight people aren't gonna get it. Like, a straight person isn't immediately gonna look at you and be like, you're homosexual. But the queer people are.
Funny. But not funny. Ha ha. Funny. You accidentally turned me on, and now we gotta do something about it.
I can't tell how much on purpose it is. Like, sometimes you just need to bend over to pick something up, okay? But if you know how much it turns your partner on, you might do it on purpose, or you might like make more of a show of it on purpose. And I think that's probably fair. That's just fair. Come on. Also, are all queer people just obsessed with butts? Like not necessarily into doing butt stuff, but just like obsessed with butts because butts are just grabbable. Is that just all queer people?
Ah, fuck! It's just men. I know, but I'm scared. Like,
I mean, listen. Understandable, actually. Understandable. Because especially if you spend less time around men and then they do something that's like very normal for men to do, but you're just caught so off guard by it because you don't have a lot of men around you. Well, listen. At work constantly. Like, in public, I'm usually not that bothered because I try not to talk to people in general. I'm sorry, I don't like talking to people I don't know. But listen, at work, because I don't really have that many like male friends, and legit every time I have to spend time with my father, the same thing happens, because I keep forgetting, because I think I want to forget, but understandable actually.
Today's gender is gallantly not giving a fuck while some of society has a complete meltdown over your very existence. You beautiful bitch. You keep driving them crazy.
Okay, I love the hair. I love the hair. That's really cool hair. And I love them. Like, honestly, I'm pretty sure I've had like at least 2 or 3 videos of that before, because usually it's funnier than this. This one just kind of hit me in the feels a little bit, because fair. Like, the cisheads and the transphobes are just entirely obsessed with us for all the wrong reasons. Kind of wish it was for the right reasons, but still, I feel like the art of not giving a fuck about it, while simultaneously trying to change your rights from being taken away, is kind of a hard balance to find. But I think it's a very, very important balance to find. Really, yeah.
Gender norms are dead, baby doll! Instead of asking who wears the pants in the relationship, ask which person is a burnt-out gifted kid who needs to watch children's television shows to get through the day, and which person could tell you what a mortgage is.
I guess, but what do you do if both people don't and need to watch children's cartoon shows to get through the day? Like, what are you gonna do about those relationships, huh? Because I feel like they exist a lot. Because, especially as queer people, the whole being neurodivergent seems to be so much more common. And the whole just being burnt out from having to deal with rude people is very common. So honestly, having to unwind with like children's TV shows or cartoons or something seems like a good way to cope, actually. You know?
You dare disobey me, Coraline! Ah! Ah!
I guess. But this is what I mean. Like, when trans people come out, they're always gonna be like a little bit worried their partner's gonna break up, because some people just never really found themselves drawn to other genders, and then they just assume they're straight because it wasn't something they paid attention to really. Because if you're just like mostly attracted to women as a man, you wouldn't go on questioning it, because everyone tells you all your life, yeah, I know, you're just straight, you're gonna find a woman one day, you're gonna get married to her, the whole story. So you don't really think about it. But then when you're with your partner and you know you love them, and then they're just like, you know what, no, screw it, then maybe you start to question if their gender actually really plays as much of a role as you thought it did. So there you go. I really hope it was a lot of people, but listen, as long as, honestly, I know it's still sad if your partner breaks up with you, because they're like, you know what, no, I can't, I'm literally only attracted to women, I'm sorry, I can't. That's still fair. Like, obviously that's their right to do, but I'm still hoping they do it in a supportive way, not in a fuck you, I'm never talking to you again kind of way. More in a, listen, I love you and I want to support you, but maybe more as friends kind of way, you know?
I am not trying to seduce you. Would you like me to seduce you?
Realizing that quickly that someone is flirting with you. Wow, we've seen videos on like useless lesbians before that realize like 4 years later that someone was flirting with them, because honestly I feel like I'd literally be the same. I think I'm allowed to make fun of it. I literally wouldn't get it either, probably. Like, especially I couldn't be able to tell if someone's like play flirting because for funsies, or if someone's like actually flirting. I think that's where it would fall apart really quickly for me. But realizing that fast is a gift, and you should use it well.
The queer households that I've ever been to in my life have like the same things. It's fucking wild. You got the addiction collection, some weird shit in the bathroom that you wouldn't usually see in a bathroom. No walls, just fucking posters. A secret area for some mischievous shit. A table that is not made out of table you would find at the kids section of IKEA, and a plant that has been dying for 5 years.
What is my area of mischievous things? I do have my plushie collection, like, back there. Yeah. A plant that's been dying. I have plants that sometimes give the impression that they're dying. That like to just, like, suddenly drop a lot of leaves. But somehow is still alive. And I have, like, 2 of those plants. So I guess fair enough. Addiction collection... It's growing, okay? It's growing. It might be time to get a new K-pop shelf soon, because it's kind of, it's not gotten out of control yet, but I still, like, it wasn't planned in when I got a certain shelf, so now I have to get new shelving soon. But oh well. I forgot what else I said. I don't think I actually have weird stuff in my bathroom. Posters, some of them. Flags, mostly, yes. Posters, some of them, but not actually on my wall. Y'all, maybe German quiz are just a little bit different, I'm not sure. And a table that's not made out of table. Literally, this table I'm filming on isn't actually a table either, so I guess it counts, but not actually all of them. Weird.
I don't identify as a girl and I don't identify as a boy. I identify as a silly little guy being a silly little goose trying to survive in a silly little world. You know?
And I do think that's fair, because in this silly little world, being a silly little goose really helps. And also, if you're a silly little boy trying to be a silly little goose, boy with an I, by the way, that seems fair. Listen, we take things way too seriously too often. So let's embrace the silly little goose.
Maybe it's time for the non-binary takeover. Like, what's the worst we can do? Like, oh, you must wear whatever clothes make you feel the most comfortable, even if it was made for another gender. Respect people's preferred pronouns and names, because that's like the least we could do as human beings. You know what? I get why that's terrifying for some people. It's just too much power for the individuals who just want to wear silly little platform shoes and admire frogs. Side note, what is the non-binary obsession with frogs about? Like, I always thought frogs were cool, but then I came out as non-binary, and now I see frog memorabilia, and I look at it and I go, oh, that's riveting.
I can't come for it. I do want to come for the pun. It caught me off guard, okay? Listen, but I have a little frog. Hang on. But currently, I only have one little frog, but he's really cute. And he's just waving. Alright? He's adorable, I had to get him. But I feel like if I would find cute frogs somewhere now, I'd probably have to get more, because you can't just have one frog alone, okay? Anyways, you are going back there, because I can see him better there. Not on camera though, hang on. There. Now Mango has some company. So, listen, I get the obsession with frogs. Frogs are just adorable. But literally, if non-binary people were to make the rules on gender, I think we'd all have a better time. Because it's not even a I want everyone to be non-binary kind of thing. It's just that I want people to stop giving less of a shit about their gender in a way, or like mostly just like their gender roles. Because listen, I keep saying it, like if you're a man and you like playing football and drinking beer or going fishing, whatever, fine, you know, whatever. But just kind of starting to shame other people if they don't have like stereotypically like masculine interests, that's where I have the issue. And that's why a non-binary takeover would probably be helpful, because they'd just be like, yeah, you don't want to do that, okay, cool, like what do you want to do, you know? Okay, maybe you don't know, let's go figure it out, you know. Here are things you could do, which I haven't based off your genitals. They're just things you could do as a human, you know, and I think that would probably be a better approach.
POV, this is a really bad impression of my mom when I came out to her. Listen, Mom, this is not just a phase, this is who I am, and you cannot change that.
You just struggle with same-sex attraction.
Struggle? I'll have you know I'm very good at it.
You are just like your father.
What?
But yeah, I feel like a lot of people stop struggling with their same-sex attraction at some point and start being really good at it. But what is it with these people just like basically outing themselves to their kids, or just like outing their ex-partner to their kids? It's funny to me, because every time you meet like a gay man who says he has biological kids, everyone loses their mind. But I still feel like it isn't actually that uncommon, because compet. And if you think that's what you have to do, and you find someone you do generally just feel comfortable around, even if you're not necessarily that attracted to them, it can happen, you know? Because that's what you're being told you have to do. And then if you later figure out, shit, this isn't what I want, I think that's fair. Like, listen, sometimes it just takes a while, like especially if you grew up a while ago. Like, I feel like our generation grown up is probably gonna have this happen less, just because a lot of us just feel safer and more comfortable coming out at an early age, and like we know more about it than they did at our age, so that's just gonna make it easier. But still, I feel like in older generations this kind of happened sort of a lot. It do be like that, and it do be a struggle. Listen, we don't struggle with same-sex attraction, but we do struggle to really pick how masculine or feminine we want to dress most days. Because I feel like sometimes you want to dress like super flamboyantly, and then you maybe have to tone it back down because you don't want to get hate crimed. And I kind of wish we wouldn't have to do that. That it would just be a struggle of, what do I think suits me better today?
I think part of the reason that I've never actually had like a full big like coming out as non-binary, and probably never will, is because I think I'm still kind of confused. And like I probably always will be, because some days someone will come to me and be like, "Sir," and I'm like, "Who the fuck are you talking to? Is a sir in the room with us?" But then some days I'm like, "Yes, I am, man." Or my partner will call me her boyfriend, and I'm like, "I am your boyfriend." But then like if a middle-aged man walks up from behind me and accidentally calls me ma'am, but it's different if like a little old lady calls me ma'am. And then I remember one time there was this family, and this little girl turned to her mom from the shopping cart and was like, "Mom, are they a boy or a girl?" Of course on the outside I was like, but on the inside I was like, you know? Personally, I'd like to identify as a nuisance.
Yeah, but listen, it always... Like, if some middle-aged woman were to call me ma'am, that would be okay. But if an old man does it, because they're not gonna just say ma'am, they're gonna pull some shit like young lady. Worst thing ever. Like, it always depends on who says it. You know? It always just does. And it can happen in the span of 5 minutes. And people will like gender you either which way. In the span of 5 minutes. You're still wearing the same shit. You still look the same, but somehow they're gonna gender you differently. Oh well. But listen, kind of fair. Kind of fair, but I think like kind of that's the beautiful thing about being non-binary. It's not being so set on a category necessarily. Because if you're like, okay, no, I identify as a man, then okay, you're a man and you want people to read you as a man. If you're non-binary, I think you have more leeway because people are going to try to gender you either as a man or as a woman when that's not who you are. And I think kind of playing around with it and having fun with people gendering you correct or like differently on different days is kind of fair.
What do you call a small church for gender conforming teenagers? Why would there be a name for the Sistine Chapel? I hate you.
I don't hate you, but I will say this. I'm glad we're now friends. I don't need more people in my life who make bad puns at the moment. I have enough of those. Thank you very much, because I feel like that's a very queer thing to do in general. So, no thank you. But listen, kind of fair. You do still seem like fun to be around, but still, I don't need more bad puns in my life at this moment, you know? I just don't. I'm sorry. How is it still different from your heart to your head? Like, because I think what happens is, I think we know a lot of times, but we're kind of just like too scared to like fully admit it or embrace it. And that's why in your heart you know, but in your head you don't yet. Is that what it is? Like, I don't want to assume about you personally, but that's just me down. I tried telling myself I'm a trans guy for so long because I was telling everyone else because I wanted to transition, and honestly with like health insurance that's just easier as well. But I just told everyone and I wanted to believe it and failed very miserably actually. Yeah, but I tried, all right? But yeah, I had to start not wanting to come out to your parents. That's probably like the last people you come out to. Well, actually maybe grandparents of us. Grandparents of us. And I will say this, like, one of my grandmothers, super confused about it. I don't think she got it at all. She did the whole usual, oh, but you just had like a boyfriend. And it's like, dude, like being trans isn't about who you're attracted to. It's about like who you are. Like, it really doesn't matter if I have a boyfriend or not. And like the whole, oh, but you were such a pretty girl. And it's like, I mean, kind of, but. And then my other grandparents were just like super chill. They were super chill with it. Did not expect it, really, but super chill. But still, those were the last people I told. Yeah. Oh well. But listen, you can come out when you're ready. You don't have to come out. You don't have to come out to certain people. Like, if you want to come out but you know you never want to tell certain people, that's fine. That's, like, listen, it's your life. It's your coming out. You get to kind of do what you want, you know? But just be prepared. Like, I think we talk about, like, coming out in very, like, finite terms of, like, oh, you come out and then you're done. But actually, you kind of have to do it, like, a million little times. And every time you meet new people, they're probably going to ask at some point. So, just kind of mentally be prepared for that, I guess. So anyways, that was all the TikToks for today. I hope you had fun. I hope you're hydrated. Go drink something now. I know you forgot. I know you literally just forgot. So anyways, go get hydrated. And I will see you in 3 days with my next video.